Master web development with Skill Bakery. Hey everyone, ready to level up your web dev skills? Introducing skillbakery.com premium courses starting at just $6 or 500 rupees. Sign up today and learn in-demand skill sets. Unlock your potential today at skillbakery.com.
Welcome to another exciting video. In this one, we'll be learning how to run WebAssembly in Node.js using Node Loader. Now, WebAssembly, as we know, is great for targeting performance bottlenecks in the browser. Now, with Node Loader, we can do the same on the server through Node.js. While Node offers bindings to native extensions for C, C++ via Node.js, there was no straightforward way to write Rust extensions. In addition, the Node.js API changed often, and developers had to be careful to make their code work with various operating systems. Compiling Rust to WebAssembly solves both of these issues. The API is stable, and once compiled to WebAssembly, it will run on every operating system supported by Node. Since Node doesn't support loading Wasm files, a loader is needed. So let's go ahead and create a Rust library and load it using the Node Loader. Over here, what I'll do is I'll first of all create an empty directory. So let's go ahead and do that. So I have created this directory Rust node. Let's quickly go inside this directory Rust node. And once there, we need to initialize this directory. So I'm just going to use the command npm init, which is going to create this package.json file. So the package name obviously is Rust node version 1.0. Rust on node in the description I'm providing. Entry point. Let's skip this. Just command, skip it, and get repository, skip it. Just add Rust node and press enter. Author, let's provide the name over here, license, skip it, and that's pretty much it. So the package.json file is now created inside the Rust node directory. Once this is done, the next thing that we need to do is install the Loader tool. So that we can do using the npm install, and here we have the save Wasm node. Press enter, and this is going to install it. Once that's done, let's go ahead and make use of the cargo command to create a library. So here we'll say cargo new create, name as utils, and type will be library. So this is going to create this project over here. So you have the create directory, and then that you will have the lib.rs file. Let me just delete this portion from here, and here I'll be adding one attribute, and we'll be learning what exactly that means. The attribute name that we need to have over here is no_manual. Now what exactly this means, let's understand it. So if you remember, in our previous lecture, we had this package file. Inside that, we had this index.js. And this was calling this method wasm__w_star. If I take you to the src directory, where we have the lib.rs file, this is the method. So it was the attribute wasm_bindgen, then start. And this was getting generated by Rust. So it was kind of providing a unique name to this particular method automatically. And if you want to preserve the original name so that you can call it exactly the way it was defined, you need to have the no_mangle attribute. So when you will have this no_mangle attribute defined, the add function will remain as is. It will not be regenerated as a different method. So that being said, what exactly we are doing over here, this is the system generated code. So let's go ahead and make this as u32, and here also let's have it as u32, and this is going to return u32, and then we'll have the left plus right added together and return. So this is the simple library method that we have created. Now once that's done, what we need to do is open up our cargo.toml file, and over here we need to introduce this lib, which is create type as CDY lib. So these things are complete now. We now need to execute this or build this. So to build it, we'll make use of the command cargo build, and we'll be targeting Wasm32 unknown, and the mode will be release. So let's press enter now. So the path first needs to be changed over here. Let's go inside the create directory. And over here, we need to run this command, cargo build. Once that's done, you will notice that it is generating this target directory. Under that, you have the Wasm32 and then the release. And here, the utils.wasm file is located. Now, we need to create NJS file in order to work with the node. So what we'll do is, inside this Rust node, we'll be opening up another file and we'll be creating it like index.njs. And within this, what we'll do is, first of all, let's invoke something like running WebAssembly in Node.js. Once that's done, we'll be importing a couple of things because we have to read this file that we have created over here under this directory, some utils.wasm. So for that, we need to have file system and path imported. And then we'll have to provide that over here in our index.njs. So we have the path and we are resolving now. So we have just provided the path directly over here. And once that's done, we need to read this data. So what we'll do is we'll say fs read file, and we'll be passing this Wasm file path over here. Once that's done, it is either going to return an error or it will return the data from the file. And once we have the data from the file, we'll be going inside and we'll be checking if there's an error. We'll simply console.log, and here we'll say error reading the WASM file, and we'll also provide the error that was thrown. So that being said, will then return from here itself. And if we got the data, what we'll do is we'll write the WebAssembly dot instantiate, and here we'll have the data passed as parameter dot then, and inside this we have the Wasm module, and then we'll make use of this Wasm module to further call the method that we have inside our lib.rs file. So here we'll have the instance as Wasm module, and once that's done, we'll simply go ahead and say const result is equal to instance dot exports dot add. That's the method we have over here, and then we'll be passing some numbers like 10 and 20, and once that's done, this value will then be filtered as log. So we have the result. Let's make it a bit more verbose. So let's say the user has entered 10 plus 20, and that's equal to the result that we are printing over here. And in case there's an error, we can simply go ahead and catch that. So the error over here will be printed. So we have the console.log, and here we'll have the error instantiating WebAssembly module, and the error name will be shown. Let's save this. But now we need to load this file via Node. How we can do that? First is we'll be requiring a loader. So we'll create another file over here inside the same Rust node directory, and we'll be calling it as loader.njs. Now inside this particular file, you'll have to import two things. That's the register and path to URL. And this path to URL will basically internally load the node loader, and then it is going to call the index.njs file that we have created. So once we are done with this, the next thing is running it from the command. So we have the load and then the file name loader.njs. So if everything is fine, it should be getting an output. So here we need to go back first, and then we need to write the command load.njs. And then you can see the value is coming up as 10 plus 20 equals 30. So what we have done is we have simply loaded the WebAssembly in Node itself. Now, if I go back over here and instead of MJS, I try to rename this file as JS, and the same I go and do it over here as well, index.js, and then comments as well, let's update it. And over here, if I go back and run the command node loader MJS, you'll notice that it's throwing an error. Now let's go ahead and review it. So as you can see over here, it says cannot use import statement outside a module, and to load an ES module, set type to module in the package.json or use the MJS extension. So earlier, we were making use of the MJS extension. Now in my package.json file, I can go ahead over here and let's go ahead and provide the type over here as module. And then save this and go back and try executing this command now. And now you can see that it is printing the same output 10 plus 20. Another thing you can do over here now is rename the loader.js to loader.mjs to JS, save it, and here when we are running loader.js, you'll get the output as 30. So either way, you have the option, either you create the files with MJS extension, which means that the files are modules, and then you can run the command, or you specify the type as module in your package.json file, and then you will be simply creating JS files and you can call them directly. So that was how to run WebAssembly in Node.js. If you find the video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe.